This is my 25th video on YouTube, and I figured I would do a Life Lately video and talk about everything that's been going on. I don't think that a lot of my videos give depth to me. They're more obscure, and I wanted to do a video where you saw me and who I am, and I hope this video will give you some insight. So this morning, I had a colonoscopy. Welcome to 50. Over the weekend, there was a massive snowstorm in North Carolina. We got a foot of snow, so I am sore from shoveling. And I also had to paint the closet behind me, which is my bedroom closet. Even though I'm in the office, it's a walkthrough. And that was the same day that I shoveled, so I'm quite sore. And then yesterday I had to starve myself and shit my head off. And then this morning, it was over. Thank goodness for that. But good news, I know you're all worried. No polyps. Polyp free, baby. These are the things that we get to look forward to in midlife. The glorious freedom of 50, right? You know, so many doctor's appointments, things you didn't know you needed. You know, I have to go to a dermatologist every year and get my freckles checked. I'm not lying. It's the red hair and the fair skin. Good times. But this is part of aging. And there's also an excellent side of aging and being in midlife as well. You get to reinvent yourself. And the very first video I did was talking about my transformation. And I believe it was about 5 months ago that I did my first video on this channel. And 5 months later, I am completely blown away with what has happened in my life, because I had no inkling it would turn into what it has. I was starting to transform my garden to make this house my own and my haven, and October hits, you know, we go to Charleston, South Carolina for my 50th birthday. We come home and bam, my husband gets a new job and we are moving to California. I had no idea that that was the trajectory of what was happening in my life, and I'm here for it. After the snowstorm, I moved away from New England for a reason. Snow and the weather being number one, and it has followed me here, god damn it, and I'm not having it. So I'm very much looking forward to moving to the West Coast, to Petaluma, California. And I am so excited. I am. Every day that I live here and every day that I experience life here, I think of how the same instance would be different in California. And it's 90% more positive in California versus here in North Carolina. I have some circulatory issues, which I may have mentioned in previous videos. I have Raynaud's and I have chilblains, and I get very painful blisters when my feet get too cold or too hot. And trust me, this snow is not helping. I even flared up on my hands. I never flare up on my hands. This cold to the bone weather is not for me. No siree, Bob. I checked the weather in Petaluma for the same week as here in North Carolina. It's 60 degrees over there. It's, you know, double the warmth that it is here. So if for no other reason than the weather. I am looking forward to it. I genuinely am. And updates with the house. We've had contractors here. They framed out the closet, put up drywall, and I primed it. They've fixed my patch job in the ceiling of the kitchen. The ceiling in the dining room started sagging a bit, and after some investigation by the contractors, whoever put up said drywall forgot to screw it in towards the edge. So it was drooping because there was no screws there to hold it up. So they have fixed and patched that. And this week's agenda is they are taking out the crown molding in the kitchen because it doesn't fit, was not applied properly, and it is falling down. So I am having them remove it completely and replace it with proper trim that matches the rest of the house. And I believe that they're also doing the laundry room, which is beside the kitchen. I will show you, I will insert B-roll here. So they will also be replacing that trim as well. I did purchase countertops for the kitchen and a new sink. I know the kitchen is dated. This house was built in 1945. It's expected to be dated, but the terracotta looking tiles are just not the look that are going to sell this house. So we've decided just to replace the kitchen countertops. I had some travertine tile backsplash left over from my last house. So they're going to use that as the backsplash. And I purchased new countertops and a new sink. So the kitchen's getting a bit of a step up. We don't want to put a ton of money into the house. There's really nothing wrong with it. It's cosmetic. It does have the picture rail, I believe it's called, in a lot of the rooms. And it has charm and character. So that should be it for a while until spring. Oh, we also are putting up a faux tin roof in the guest bath because the contractor that put in the HVAC system, I don't know what they did, but there's a bit of a 2x4 coming down through the ceiling. And so I got some real nice ceiling tiles from Home Depot that they're going to put up in the bathroom. I think they're going to look beautiful. And that's it for the renovation. You know, it's funny because when I'm decluttering or I'm going through stuff and getting rid of stuff that I could not let go a few years ago, I'm like, toss it, get rid of it. I don't want it. It doesn't belong in my new life. And it's very cathartic, you know, because the things I owned when I was a different person versus those same things that I own now as this different person. It's funny how it just, you don't want it anymore. You don't think about it. It's just in a drawer on a shelf and you don't even pay attention to it anymore. And I just keep looking around at stuff going, why do I have that? Why did I keep that? Why did I move that with me, you know? And I find it is much easier to let things go now than it used to be for me. And I don't know if it's because I'm moving cross country to a place I've, you know, never lived before, never experienced before, or if it's just me maturing and being less materialistic, which I'm very grateful for, by the way. I was very materialistic before. When I was younger, I would get every free sample online I possibly could. I would get trinkets and useless things at the Dollar Tree or Dollar General, like all these chintzy cheap things just that filled my life up with stuff. And my life is so full now, I don't need things to fill it up, I guess. Some people say you can't be happy, that you should work toward being content. So I'm going to say I'm very content with my life right now. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to knock on some wood real quick. But I am very content. I am very optimistic about our future. Me being positive brings in more positivity, and I'm finding that that is true in my situation. Growing up in Massachusetts, and if you're a masshole, you know this to be true, but everybody is miserable. Everything is negative. Everything is everybody else's fault. And life is never going to be good for you. You're just going to have the shit under the stick, as we used to say, for your whole life. I think being in that negative space with those negative people and being negative myself brought in more negativity. So my life for years and years and years was absolutely miserable. I moved here to North Carolina. I was surrounded by positive people, and good things started to happen to me. I was blessed to have met my husband, who is extremely positive and extremely wonderful, and he rubbed off on me in a good way. And I am very positive. And positive things continue to happen to us. And I really feel like that makes a difference. You know, my glass is half full. It's not half empty. And because of that, it keeps filling up and filling up and filling up. So if you are a negative Nancy or a negative Nellie, try being a positive Pauline and see if your life improves. Can't hurt. And just know that everything is temporary. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's all temporary. And I am just trusting in the universe that good things will continue to come our way. You know, I just take each day as it comes. This year in 2026, I've really been trying to live in the present, which has always been very difficult for me to do, but I think I've been doing it well. And my word for 2026 is aligned. If it does not feel aligned, it is not for me. And I haven't been putting a lot of pressure on myself like I normally do. I am living in the present, and because I am content in my life, I am not needing to live in the future. And because I am not miserable, I'm not needing to live in the past. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's where I am today. So I hope this video helped you catch up to the goings on of Jenn-uinely me. And, you know, I realize this is my 25th video and I've never introduced myself. Welcome to my channel. I am Jen, and this is Jenn-uinely me. I hope you all have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching.